Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. If it's the first time of seeing me, my name is Emeka the Chief Priest, also known as Mazi Chukwemeka. I'm your regular host. On this channel I discuss spiritual tips and I help people live a spiritual active life. If you have been an ardent follower or viewer of my videos, I appreciate you for your time. I'm also welcoming new people that are watching me for the first time. I'm a Chief Priest. I am a diviner. I help to align people with their spiritual forces. I'm into divination. I can forecast or I can foretell the future, and I can tell you what has happened in the past according to Afal divination method. So, and on this platform, I teach people how to navigate the hurdles of life, because life sometimes is complex. So you need method and strategies on how to navigate this life and be able to come out victorious or emerge victorious in everyday battle you meet yourself. Because I tell people, here is like a battleground, it's like a testing ground, and there's no day that doesn't come with its own complexities or come with its own troubles. So your duty here is for you to be grounded, be stoic, and be resilient, because a resilient person will never back down, will never go down. You must be agile and be steadfast in knowing how to win each battle as it comes. Today's topic, I want to talk about the powers of ancestral deities. Most people say that we should be binding and casting our ancestors. Most people that were raised in religious homes, or most people that have gone in search of finding solutions to their problems, were told to bind and cast their ancestors. You see them saying anything that ancestral, this ancestral, that they're binding and casting. Such prayers do not go far. And why is it so? Is because there's nothing like binding and casting of ancestral forces. It doesn't work that way. When it comes to spiritual things, you don't bind and cast. What you do is to negotiate, and for you to appease. Wherever appeasement is needed, you go and appease. You don't go there and start binding. You can't kill spirit. You don't have, as a human that has flesh, you don't have the power to kill spirit. All you do is to settle spirits for them to, find their way. If there's something that invites spirits into your house, all you need to do is to find a way of relocating that into somewhere else, so that the spirit that thing that attracts that spirit will find another way. So that is how it is done. There's nothing like binding. I bind and cast. Such prayer does not pass your sin. So that's that. So the powers of your ancestors, the powers of ancestral forces. That's the topic for today. The powers of ancestral forces. Unfortunately enough, some people that traveled out of Africa, when they go to distant lands, they've traveled abroad, and instead of them to be making money, they're there. Some have stayed 14 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, and nothing to show for it. They are, running from pillar to post, looking for survival, how to survive in those environment. But all I can tell you here is that before you embark on any journey, make sure your ancestral forces are aware of such movement. Don't just hop into the plane and fly to that place. Before you make such journey, make sure your ancestral forces are aware of your movement. And how do you go about this? For some of you who think that everything is fetish, that if you call your ancestors, it means you're practicing a fetish tradition or whatever. No. All you do is to acknowledge them and remind them of where you're going, because you didn't create yourself. If it has to do with two people that came together and they formed you. That's why you're here. So before you embarking on such journey, inform them. And how do you go about this? For you, some of you have made that mistake of traveling without informing your ancestors. I know some of you have gone to the church and you prayed, they poured anointing oil on you, they laid hands on you, told you to go in peace. Such prayers does not pass the ceiling. Your ancestors, you have to travel to your hometown. You have to travel to your maternal or your paternal hometown. When you reach there, discuss with those people that you trust. I don't think it's everybody that you should trust there, but one person that does tradition, that person will be the person that is covering you up spiritually. You tell the person, this is your movement, this is what you go. Before you make such movement, make your findings, because it's not everyone that you should tell about your movement, but there's someone that can stand for you in that your hometown. Just make your findings. But then, if you cannot do it that way, you can meet a spiritualist, someone like a spiritualist like us. That's why we're encouraging people. Going to a DBS house is not only when situation have gone out of hand and you don't have any other option. Because the reason why some of you come to us is when you have searched, you have exhausted all the options, all your lifelines. The only last hope you have now is the DBS. The DBS should not be your last option. In fact, don't be coming to DBS when you are broke. Some people say, why will I come to DBS when I have money? A DBS is not someone that you come to discuss things when you are broke. It should be your first priority. When you are making your priority list, that DBS must be the first. That's why I encourage people. There are many DBS out there, but take your time and search for the good one. People like us are working as third parties. If in your hometown, if you don't find anyone that you can trust or you don't understand them, you can seek the services outside that your territory. All Igbo lands are connected. As long as you have 5-6 states of Igbo land, all of them are interwoven. A DBS can be in Anambra while you are abroad and be doing work for you while you are from Imo State. A DBS can be in Aruchukwu and while you are from Enugu State and you traveled abroad, it will still go. It will still work. So it's not must that it must be a DBS from your hometown. The only time we request for a DBS from your hometown is only when you want to do anything concerning Agbo. If you have anything related to Agbo, we'll ask you to go to the DBS of your hometown and do it, either your maternal or your paternal. But anything concerning either Awele or they want to do protection work for you or they want to do, talk about secondly, some of you are ashamed of talking about your ancestors. Some of you said that your ancestors did something bad, that they committed one atrocity in the past. Some of them were involved in ritual killing. Some of them took people's land. Some of them did this, did that. It's not all ancestors. If your ancestors are bad, doesn't mean that your other people's ancestors are not good. Now, in that your family line, when we talk about ancestors, there are people in your family line that are good. The same way we have bad people. In that whole family line, the bloodline, there is one person that lived a good life. And that person is the one, when you're talking, that person's spirit is interceding on your behalf. The person might come from your maternal, you might come from your paternal. So when we say ancestors, we're not talking about a combination of all of them. There are people that lived an exemplary life, that were good to the core. They have a good heart. And such people have a heart that connects spiritually, that their heart is attracting good things. When you pray to your ancestors, those people's hearts, that particular person will make your prayer to go through. So when we talk about ancestors, there are people in your ancestral line that lived a good life. And it's not all of them that I'm talking about here. So if you're remembering your grandfather did one bad thing, or your grandfather was known as a very toxic human being, that he took people's land, he abused or took advantage of many people. He was somebody notorious that was being feared for acquiring dangerous charms. I'm not talking about that as your ancestor. Only your grandfather cannot make an ancestral line. Or let me say your father, probably your father is late and your father was known to have committed many atrocities. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that bloodline. In that bloodline, there's one person that is good, and that person is the one that their spirit is bringing forth good tidings for you. When you talk about your ancestors, you are connecting with them. If your grandparents or your family line there's no good person, then you must become that good person. That's why you must change the narrative. Some of you were not born with silver spoon. Some of you were not born with golden spoon. Some of you were not born in a family of wealth. Your parents were not rich, your grandparents were not rich. It's up to you to change that narrative. It's up to you to change that story, that there must be a wealthy person in your family. You can be that person, or your children can also be that person. So it's up to you to know how you live your life, because every day counts. Every time, everything you do in your life counts. There's no time for living a careless life. Some people say, I don't care, I'll live my life the way it pleases me. No, somebody gave birth to you. You can't live your life the way it pleases you. And as someone gave birth to you, you are also going to give birth to other people, because that's the only price you can pay for you being given birth to. That's life goes on. That's the payment you pay for that goods and services that you collected. So for you that say, I will live my life the way that it pleases me, you can't live your life the way it pleases you. Some of you that have traveled, that are outside Nigeria, outside Africa, you are not showing an exemplary life of why you traveled there. I know things are hard for you there, but you are supposed to connect back home. You're supposed to have a spiritual forces that backs that your movement there, because there are forces that are trying to pull you to make sure you don't succeed in what you're doing there. You think that you have everything working out for you there. There are forces here that are gossiping to that force there to make sure that you are not going to succeed in whatever you're doing there. Let me tell you, when it comes to spiritual things, there's no boundary. In spiritual sphere, there's no boundary. Spirits work in seconds, in split seconds. The same way we can cast a spell on someone and you get you in minutes. It doesn't go through border, it doesn't go through checking. It goes faster than you expected. So that is why if you are living in abroad, have a spiritual leader or mentor or backup that helps you to navigate the hurdles of life. All the person needs to do is to be, breaking cola nuts on your behalf. All the person needs to do is to be speaking on your behalf to succeed what you're doing there to succeed. Don't just live a free and say that nothing is happening. Some people, after living many years, the moment they travel down to Africa, they will buy them. And what is causing it is because they neglected their ancestral forces. That particular day you remember to come back home, that's the day you meet your Waterloo. And that's what we're saying, that you should not forget where you come from. That place you went to is not your place. So if you're living there, don't just live carelessly and carefree lifestyle. Make sure you connect. I'm going to stop this video. I don't want this video to be long. If you are an African living in the diaspora and you've never known anything concerning ancestral veneration and you want to know more about it, chat me on WhatsApp. I will be able to tell you about it. And like I said, it's good for you to settle all these spiritual debts and all these karmic debts so that your life will be free. And once your way is free, nothing can stop you from succeeding. So if you have any question concerning what I just said today, or you want to have a one-on-one interaction with me, I also run an Alpha consultation service. So you can chat me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is 09040 113281. Thank you for stopping by. Yagasi.